Should I be responsible for helping you overcome your emotional baggage?
When you say, so is this like for like couples or
Yeah.
friends?
I mean, again, it's applicable for, practically, anybody you involve yourself with. I mean, it could be family, it could be friends, but just, I mean, you can speak from a relationship standpoint.
Okay. Well, I think it depends on like how committed you are to whatever relationship you are in, or how much that person means to you. If it's like family, I mean, I feel like that's a different story if it's family, but should I'm trying to look at the question again. Should I be responsible for helping you overcome your emotional baggage? For me, I don't know. I feel like I grew up being a nurturer and I like taking care of people. And so for me, it's not responsible, it's just something I love to do. That's why I'm in the medical field. I love helping people, whether it's emotionally, physically, helping them. But I don't know. I don't know. It just depends on who you are as a person. Um, and yeah, it's hard to question
I
answer
think I
because
think
there's
you
so
did.
many ways you can
Yeah,
answer it.
yeah, I think you did well. Hold up.
Okay.
All right, so hit that mute button for me. All right, Miss Amira, try as you might. The question is, should I be responsible for helping you overcome your emotional baggage?
If you have emotional baggage, I always have a saying, F your feelings. I'm married. You guys know, like, we not emotional people. And I think that we have too much emotions around you. It creates a lot of problems. So the fact that you're even emotional anyway, you can call it baggage, or you can call it, I'm just an emotional person. I'm just very feely. These kind of things, like, honestly cause more problems than not, in my view. And if you say I have emotional baggage or something, honestly, I think that that's like a mental issue within yourself. And you need to figure out a way to figure that out, and don't bring that into your relationship. There's therapy, there's family, there's all kind of things that you can do to not sit in. This is, I have to admit, this is definitely an American thing. You guys put so much emphasis on emotion, and oh, I this happened and I got to think about it because I still haven't gotten over, I haven't we, as a Middle Easterner or even Asian culture, other cultures don't see it this way. We're just like, if you went through something, you're stronger for it later. If you made it through, you're stronger for it. Keep going, keep working, get up and work the next day. You're not, we don't believe in all of this. I'm depressed, or, I'm bipolar. We don't, this is a very Western thing, very much like Britain and the United States. You guys have a lot of emphasis on mentality or mental stuff. We're
Mhm.
just not those kind of people.
Wow, sounds like stark contrast here. All right, uh, Mr. Wayne, it's on you, sir. Should I
Hey,
should I be responsible for helping you overcome your emotional baggage, my friend?
so I'm one of the thought that no one has to be alone. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of what you're going through, emotions, whatever, like, there's somebody that will be accepting of it, and you know willing to be with you through that fight, whatever you struggle with. um Me, is it my job personally? I would say that if someone that I'm with in a relationship is going through some emotional trauma or whatever, and I felt like the benefit outweighed the risk, then it would definitely become my job to weather that storm.
What would the benefit be? I'm just curious. Like, what you said, the benefit outweighs the risk. What would be the
Yeah,
benefit?
as in, if I saw that there was fruit in this relationship, if I saw that there was potential for something to blossom, for something to grow, um as opposed for it to be just me sitting here waiting for you to continue wallowing in whatever you are wallowing in, then that I would say no, that in that case the benefit doesn't outweigh the risk, because I don't see any fruit that could come from that.
Got you. Hit the mute button for me, Wayne. Carisha, go ahead. You heard the question. Should I be responsible for helping you overcome your emotional baggage?
Responsible? No. I do not believe any other person is responsible for emotional baggage except for the person with the baggage. And I'm speaking from a place of experience because I'm one who had a lot of emotional baggage. And I had to stop and take that time to heal myself and work on myself and get myself together before I go out there trying to do stuff. Like a lot of people want to go into relationships, whether it be friendships or dating or whatever, with all these issues. And it's not going to really work because you're going to basically damage everything you do until you fix it. And so I do not think anybody is responsible in healing somebody except for that person who needs healing. Like you can get help. I'm not saying don't get help. And I'm not saying nobody can help you. Or if like, for instance, Shanice want to help somebody, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I don't think anybody is responsible for that. You know?
Understood. Hit that mute button for me, Carisha. Mr. DP, it's on you, man, real quick. Should I be responsible for helping you overcome your emotional baggage?
I mean, I generally agree with Carisha. The only time I would feel like you're actually responsible is if you caused that emotional baggage and you still want to be with that person or have a relationship with that person, whether that's your significant other or a child or something like that. If you cause that issue, then I feel like you are somewhat responsible to help them overcome if you still want to keep a relationship with them.
All right. Good points, guys.
Can I ask something? Are you done asking the panel, or can I?
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. 1 second here. Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
There was a community in Germany where the people were treated unfairly because of their race or religion. Do you understand what I'm going here?
Mm-hmm.
The people in Germany, they were, a lot of bad things happened to them. It was genocidal. So you have those kind of people who their ancestry went through a lot of trauma. Yeah. But today you don't see them saying, complaining or saying like this is traumatic or something like that. And then you have the Japanese who also went through camps and a lot of racism in this country when they came here, told that they can only be, they were called Japs and all kinds of slurs, and they were treated as not really human here. They were, they made all these cartoons about them and making them look weird.
Right.
And never do I ever hear a Japanese person say, I feel traumatized from that, or I can't make it, or I can't think straight because of this trauma that I'm carrying. Do you know what I mean? The same thing with, there's so many, pretty much every community, every people has been through something so bad. But I've noticed that the culture is more of a push and go forward, not sit and dwell on it. Do you know what I mean? Why is it that in America, we have Americans who tend to see these emotional issues and try to dwell on them? And I think that the more you dwell on them, the more you make them reality.
Yeah.
Instead of moving on with your life and saying, okay, I went through something, but I'm not going to sit here and, I have stuff to do tomorrow. Maybe it's because other cultures, especially immigrant cultures, we think we're just happy to be able to get up and work. We're happy, like, no matter what we've been through, we just get up and go again. We don't sit and cater to emotions and, so-called trauma. We don't sit there and cater to that. So am I wrong in that thinking, or can you explain to me what's the difference here?
Anybody would like to respond, or I can jump in?
I just have some input to put in. So like, I don't think it may seem like most people are dwelling on it, or in my eyes, I think people are just reminding everyone, or just something like you wouldn't want to, something you will never forget, or something like something you will remember. Like I'm trying to think. I just had in my head, like you said, the Indians, or like the Native Americans, like they were, you know, raped and killed and all that, and today, and still today, they still like, we still remember, like, okay, like this is something that our culture has gone through. It's made us stronger. Like all cultures, I feel like all cultures do that. Like I feel like everyone, I don't even what's the first people you said? You
The
said
Jays,
the
the people in Germany that were
Germany.
Mhm.
Yeah, like they have certain holidays. Like you never forget that period in time. Like you don't want to forget that period in time, and we just want to remember, like, that's what happened. This is what made us stronger. We're still living in society, and I don't know. It's just I feel like it's not like we're trying to feel sorry for ourselves. Same thing with African Americans and slavery and all that. I feel like we're not trying to feel sorry for ourselves. I just think we're just trying to make America remember like what happened. Don't forget this. I mean, maybe there are people that are trying to like say or feel sorry, or like, oh, this is what happened to my culture and whatever. But I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like we're just like, don't never forget that this happened. This is us today. This is what we're gonna do from now on. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
I understand what you're saying too, but you know, just coming from an outsider looking in, an outsider who knows the suffering of many other cultures, I think in America, I think a lot of people who have been born here or their families have been here for generations after generations, you guys see it a lot differently. You guys see it like, we're not going to forget, but I don't think anybody could ever forget what happened in America in the past. I don't think anyone can. It's in the history books. Children are taught about it. There's a whole month dedicated to teaching about it. I don't think that anyone could ever forget because it's a huge part of the history. But it just seems that only this culture, especially in America, only this is pretty much brought up almost constantly. Like anytime that there is, but even today, if something ever happens to an African American, it always has to be brought up like, okay, well, slavery happened. And it's like everybody knows that. But it's almost like taking on the struggles from from the ancestors in your past and putting it onto you and saying, this is my struggle today, even though I couldn't do that. I couldn't, as a Middle Easterner, say, you know, my tribe was killed back in whatever century, and I feel the trauma from that. Even now, I feel the trauma because I don't, and I know that's absurd.